Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Um, what is your energy telling you? So tonight we're going to find out. Okay. Um, so my name is Angie Langley, and I'm a happiness expert specializing in intuitive healing, energy healing, and trauma healing. And I show dynamic women who are leaders in their field that have been knocked down by a trigger or trauma or what the hell ever, how to rise up so they can take back control of their life again. So if this is you or someone you know, this is where you need to be. Okay. Um, your energy, your energy is everything. Everything is energy. And if you guys work with energy or know anything about energy, put in the comments what you know about energy. Okay. Um, and no, it's not your power. It's not your power bill or hydro bill. Okay. Um, your energy is all about your feelings. Sometimes you just feel like something's off, right? Or just you don't know what's going to happen next, right? You just have those feelings, right? Or it's sometimes you have to find out how people are treating you. Okay. So if people are treating you like you want them to, you are respected, you're inspiring, you're a great listener, you have amazing people in your life who are happy and healthy and they support you and love you, then you're doing something right, right? So if you guys have these people in your life, keep them close. Okay. Um, but sometimes you have people in your life that sometimes they just kind of come in and disrupt things and then they leave. um, I had a home care client when I first started my job, and he was miserable, just absolutely miserable. He was the biggest, I'm not even going to say it, and I swear on here, but I'm not even going to say it because it was just too bad. He was just the biggest egotistical, and it starts with a P. Okay, so you guys can probably think of a few words, right? And he triggered me, right? And I was like, where did this come from, right? He was so miserable, like he was just demeaning. You know, I've been a home support worker or a continuing care assistant for 19 years. So I know that part of my job. I know my job. And he triggered me. He was so demeaning. He made me second guess myself. He was just, so condescending. And he just made me feel like shit. He really did. I felt this big. Right? And I was so upset. So upset. I cried all the way home. And it took me an hour to drive home. Right? And I cried. And then after I cried, I got pissed off. And then after I get pissed off, I was like, all right, where did that come from? Because nobody bothers me like that, right? Nobody triggers me that bad. So there was something in there that I still had to release or heal. Okay. Um, so anyone that's here, if you guys have seen me and hear me, can you give me a thumbs up or a hey in the comments? There's a link above that says StreamYard for Facebook. So if you can click on that and then come on back, that way I can see who's here and who's commenting. So I was thinking, okay, where did that come from, right? And thank God that it was on a Friday, and I had the weekend off. And Friday night, he was my last client. Thank God, right? So all weekend, I was like, where the hell did that come from, right? Where did it come from? What's going on in my energy that attracted this person, right? And because I have amazing people in my life, and and you guys are all amazing, and you guys have been in this group, and you guys you come to my events, you participate, you know and even just liking and commenting or just saying hello, it's a real big help, and it's amazing, and like a lot of groups aren't like this. Right? So I was going thinking back, and I was like, okay, where did that come from? You know, And it's easier for me to heal you guys than it is myself. But so I'm really working hard at this. And I was like, okay. So come to find out, I was triggered because I had some insecurities about myself. And it wasn't about, my work ethic or my self personally. It was about me growing my business, me going out there and helping you guys. And I was like, I was really triggered because I was like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe that I can't do this. Maybe, no one will care and come to me for help, right? And all of these things were popping up in my mind. And I'm thinking, no, I can do this. I have proven that I can help people. I've changed people's lives, guys. I've changed people's lives. And, I've helped a woman get closure from a past loved one. I helped a woman who was having reproductive issues and she got pregnant. I've helped women who, I've helped a woman, if she's on here, she had anxiety so bad she couldn't leave her home. And now she's my little social butterfly, right? Another client, Sherry, you guys have seen her on the lives on the vent, right? She would never leave her town. Like she would drive around, but she would never go and explore. Like she wanted to go touring and travel and things like that. And before she would never do that because she didn't think that she could. She didn't think she had the money. She didn't think that, she just didn't feel good enough about herself to be able to do that, because we all do that. I felt guilty for buying my own personal items, right? So, and that's just how we are, right? We are women who, we always helping everyone else, but we always put ourselves on the back burner, right? But now it's time for us to get ahead. It's time for us to look after us, because if we don't look after us, nobody else will, right? I was telling my friend the other day, I said, who is the most important person in your life? I said, because if she's like, me and my kids. I said, yeah, you. Because if you're sick, if you're down, if you're not around, who's going to look after everybody else? Right? So we have to look after ourselves. Okay. So this energy, what was I attracted was, I still had that residual, imposter syndrome happening, right? And so I released that. Now, guys, before I became a happiness expert, before I was healing myself, that would have torn me down for years. Like I would have been down to the bottom of the barrel, right? I would not be able to do what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't be, I would just sink, right? Just like I did when I almost drowned in the pool, right? I would just sink to the bottom. But now, I just dip, right? So sometimes you go and you have something happen in your life, and this energy is attracting you, right? So, and I've heard stories about this guy because he was on my schedule. So I kind of reached out to some of the girls that I know and they were telling me about him. So I was like, oh God, right? And so I attracted it, right? So, and I had all these thoughts in my head about it. So I had to go back to see him in 3 weeks after that. And I was ready for him. Right? I had my boundaries up. I had my walls up. I had the spiel in my head that I was going to give him. I was ready to walk out. I didn't care if he was in his chair or in his bed. I was going to walk out if he was being a dickhead. So anyway, I get there and I'm just pumped up and ready to go. And I walk in and he goes, "Oh, I'm already in bed." I was like, "Okay." He says, um, "Yeah, um, since the last time we had a little bit of trouble." And he said, "I thought it'd be easier if we just got into bed." And I'm thinking, we got into trouble because you were impatient and it was my first time there and I didn't know his routine. That's what the issue was. But I didn't say nothing. I was like, okay. And I was very abrupt, very curt. And when I was doing everything he wanted me to do, he was very sympathetic. He was very polite. And he goes, "I want to ask you, I want to explain how and why I act that way." So I'm standing at the foot of the bed and I have my arms crossed like this. I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Well, I'm on a lot of pain medications." And I was like, "So?" And he goes, "I have, I have pain pills or I have medications that will calm me down when things go wrong." I'm like, "And?" And he goes, "Well, I have these, I don't know what you call them." I said, "Hissy fits?" Right? I did not back down. There was no way in hell. And so I don't know if he called the office and told them never to send me back there again, but I did tell my supervisor never to send me in there because it's too triggering. Like, right? And I mean, although if I had to go back again now, it would probably be okay. But that first day I was triggered so bad. And I got triggered because I had to release that, right? So I can move on. And this is what our energy is telling us, right? We attract things in our life so that we can release them, so we can move on, right? Because if we have all this bad stuff coming in, where's my thingy? Hold on. Okay. If we have, can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you guys want this, this is the vibe sheet. So put hashtag vibe in the comments and I can get this to you too. Okay. So if you're feeling, angry, you have some grief, anxiety, apathy, these are low level energies. So you're going to attract more of that stuff. Okay. And it's all about your thoughts and your feelings too, right? So all the stuff is going to come in that you don't want. Right? I mean, everybody wants to be happy, have an amazing life. But if you're anxious or have this anger inside of you, or you have this trauma that's stuck in there from a past relationship or family member or even a bully from school or coworker, yeah, you're going to attract more of that stuff. And the only way to get rid of it or not attract it is to release it. Okay, so we have to release all this stuff. Okay, and as we release, this is how our healing journey is, right? Like the first stuff is to get rid of and to assess and to find out exactly where all these emotions are coming from. Okay, and then as we're releasing, we're rising up our sheet, right? Because as soon as you hit love, joy, peace, and enlightenment, this is where all the magic begins. This is where everything that you always wanted comes into your life. Okay. So again, you guys want this sheet. I'll put hashtag vibe in the sheet and I'll grab that to you for you. Okay. So is this making sense? You guys doing good? If you guys want the replay for this, I'll put hashtag replay in the comments. If you have something going on that you're always triggering, your energy is like bringing all this crap into your life and you just don't know why or where it's coming from, give me a call. Okay, just put hashtag call in the comments. Okay. Yeah, so what was going on in your life that you're attracting? So you kind of have to sit back. Okay, sometimes how you wake up in the morning, you overslept, you're late for work. What's the first thing you do? You're rushing around, you put mismated socks on, you got your bloomers on backwards, you grab your coffee and you run out the door, and you're driving really fast, and all you're thinking of is, oh my God, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late. And of course, the more you think that, right, you're going to hit every bloody stop sign or every red light there is to get there, right? So what is going on? You're just waiting and waiting and waiting, right? And these are the actions. So you kind of step back and think, okay, we're going to be good, right? I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to grab my coffee. I'm going to jump in the car, and I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to speed. I'm not going to hit any red lights. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be on time. And so when you do that, you're going to hit every green light, not every red light. You're not going to be in no traffic jams. It's going to be smooth sailing. So when you open that up, right? Open up your mind, open up those thoughts, that's what you're going to start attracting. Okay. And your energy is going to bring more of that in. Okay? So if you're thinking all of these thoughts and that you're going to be late and all this bad stuff is happening, just kind of step back and say, okay, where is this coming from? Why am I attracting this? What is my energy telling me? Okay. You could be working for hours and hours, tons of overtime, at home, working your butt off. And after a few weeks or a week or even a few days, you're exhausted. Your body starts, getting tired. And you're like, oh no, I'm good. And then you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But then you get tired and you're like, oh God, I'm going to get sick. What happens? 9 times out of 10, you're going to get sick. Right? I used to be that way. I had burnout so bad, guys, that I had adrenal fatigue. My kidneys, my back ached so bad that I couldn't even move. Right. And even, I would drive around with a hot water bottle on my back. That's how bad it was. And, and that's because I kept pushing myself because I had to do everything. Right. Until I learned that I don't have to do everything. I'm only one person. I'm only me, and I'm doing the best that I can. Right? I don't have to please anybody. Okay. And once you get to that point, once you hit that boundaries, it's an amazing feeling. Okay. So what your energy is doing is like when you want to go to the next level, like you want to grow, you want to take that next step. You want to, you're going for a promotion or a job, and and you have all of these things going on in your mind, and you're working and working, but things just kind of keep blocking. There's just all these obstacles, all these roadblocks, and you're coming over them. You're jumping over them, you're hurtling over them, and the universe is like, okay, all right, you're going to keep going. We're just going to give you a little test here. So the universe tests us to make sure this is what we really want. Right? And we always have, because the universe is telling us, okay, if you really want this, we're going to give you a test. And if you pass this test, we'll give it to you. Okay. Because we all have said things that, I wish we had $1 million, or, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. Right. And if we had gotten it right like that, and we're like, oh, shoot. Right. Or sometimes you just wish that somebody would be quiet, or, when I was a teenager, I had, I babysat for a family member, and he had a neighbor that was kind of creepy and just, right? And my uncle, who I was babysitting for, he took us all swimming into this little creek. And so the guy had to come with us, of course, right? And I was thinking, oh God, I wish he'd just drown. Do you know what happened? He almost drowned, right? If it wasn't for my uncle diving in to get him, he probably would have, right? And I said, I will never say anything like that ever again, right? So this is how fast things can happen, right? So this is why the universe always has these little feelers out there, it's like kind of nudge and nudge and nudge. And then it's like, okay, you're almost there. You can just taste it, right? You have that carrot in front of the horse, right? You're just teasing it. And then all of a sudden you get to the end of the line, you passed all the tests, and the universe will give it to you. Okay. So when you have all these bad things happening in your life and things are going on that you don't want in your life, just kind of sit back and think, okay, what's going on? Why am I having this pain? Why are these things happening to me? Why is, people talking about me? I had, I don't know if many people know this or not, but my little dog at one time needed a surgery, and I needed $4,000. So I didn't have $4,000. So I did a GoFundMe page to see if there was any donations out there I could get. And, I was fundraising. I was doing everything I possibly could do. I maxed out my credit, and I got the money. But what happened was I had, my sister works here at the post office, and one of the women that was working there too, the postmaster, they always leave for about a half an hour and then they come back. Okay. And half of the post office is open so people can go in and get their mail out of their boxes. So when she left, there was nothing new on the bulletin board. Okay. But when she came back, there was a letter there. And a couple of people had signed it anonymously. And so what was in this letter, like, thank God she took it down as soon as she seen it. And so she told me to come over. So I went over and I grabbed the letter. And it was somebody wrote a letter saying that I was getting money from my home care clients, right? That I was doing energy healing on clients, and that I was doing all of this stuff that I wasn't doing, right? And not only did they put it up in the post office here where I live, so everyone could see, right? They sent it to my employer, and they sent it to the head office. Nobody has ever sent any letter like that to, about anybody to the head office, right? So there was a big, huge investigation. I still don't know who did it, but I believe in karma, so hopefully they'll get it, right? So, so they were trying to beat me down. They were trying to make people talk about me and not respect me, right? So I have no idea why, but and I'll probably never know, and I'll probably never know why they did that, right? But it kind of made me step back and say, okay, I still have some haters out there. And it bothered me for a little bit, but now it doesn't bother me. You got to love the haters too, right? Right? And I'm not everyone's cup of tea, so that's fine too. So, so if you guys ever had anything like that happen, someone trying to discredit you, it's not a good feeling, and you really do get upset. But now I just don't care because I know who I am, and that's all that matters, right? So again, guys, if you want the replay for this, hashtag replay in the comments. If you have something going on in your life that you just can't figure out what it is, put hashtag call. Okay. And it's only a 10-minute call, and it's totally free. And we can pinpoint what's going on in there. Okay. So if you want that, my vibe sheet, to find out where you are on that, put hashtag vibe in the comments too, and I can get that to you too. So have a great night. Come back again next week. And it's on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I have a lot of people all over the world in here, so that's why I've been putting everything as Eastern Standard Time. So have a great night. Let me know what's going on in your life. What's going on that you're attracting, okay? And if it's something that you just can't get through, give me a call, okay? So have a great night, and I'll talk to you next week.